Back at it yet again. Understand? We out here, Durham, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And we out here in Durham, North Carolina for the Monday night history class. Police Officer 50 One holding it down. You know what I'm saying? And we've been, might as well just go over what we always go through. ISUPK under Command General Yohana. Teach the truth according to the Bible. That blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true Jews according to the Bible. Okay, and that our oppressor in this land is the devil the Bible speaks of. You understand? We are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite organization, group, church, whatever you want to call it. If it's not, Salakia, if it's not of the ISUPK under Command of General Yohana, it is not of the truth. You understand? And a lot of brothers is going into it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put my little piece in there, and you know what I'm saying, go in on this topic. It's relevant because it's coming up, and more. Not only is it relevant just because it's coming up, it's relevant because of how dangerous it is to our people. You understand? As we go through these scriptures and read about it, and we go through these articles, and I got different articles, not just historical articles. Well, they're all historical, but I even got some more recent to talk about how while these other nations celebrate these holidays, right? It makes sense for them because it's their culture. It makes sense for somebody who has, you know what I'm saying, Irish origins or whatever, or ancestors. It makes sense for them to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. It makes sense for them to celebrate Halloween. It makes sense for somebody who's Italian or some, you know what I'm saying, some Caucasian. It makes sense for them to celebrate Christmas or Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Who does it not make sense for it to celebrate Thanksgiving amongst a bunch of people? But it doesn't make sense for a native Indian to celebrate Thanksgiving. Get up. Right. Most High in Christ. But specifically also my native Indians, but you're absolutely correct. It doesn't make sense for any of us to celebrate it. But a native Indian celebrating Thanksgiving is like the most diabolical, ridiculous thing you can think of. Like, this is literally a holiday that was celebrated before they even got to America. But once they got here, they used it as a means to destroy your people. You understand? And it's the same thing with a bunch of other holidays. They use Father's Day against black men. They use Mother's Day against black women. They use Christmas against black people. You go out and spend all your money trying to, you know what I mean, trying to impress your children. They're gonna love you that day, but they're gonna hate you next week. You understand? It's just a cycle of, you know what I mean, it's like a cultural appropriation in reverse. You know what I mean? Like, we want to be them so bad. We want to embrace the, and it's all around us. You know what I mean? And it's not no different. Everybody's the same, not just the Republicans, Democrats too. Everybody out there is trying to be more like their oppressor. Everybody out there is trying to be more like the people who hate them the most. And you know how you know that? Because every time something tragic happens, what do black people say? I cannot believe this is an outrage. This is, they shot that brother. Wow, y'all could you heard that the police shot that brother in the back while he was running? And never in my life. Come on, come on. You're giving them too much credit because you got your head up there behind so much you can't see what's coming. You know what I'm saying? You can't realize that. Listen, this is their mo. This is their modus operandi. This is who they are. Okay. And so today we're gonna talk about this disgusting, absolutely abominable thing called Halloween that a lot of y'all are gonna be celebrating this week. Lots lucky, a lot of us are gonna be celebrating sometime this week. We're gonna be sending our children out there in the dead of night to go knock on strangers' doors for candy. You know what I mean? We're gonna be grown people. Matter of fact, I know some cats, Salakia. I know some cats right now that's going to a Halloween party as we speak. I know that's going on all over the place. You know what I mean? Going to Halloween, and now it's like Salakia, if I may. When I was coming up, you know what I'm saying? Shalom, you have our when I was coming up, Halloween wasn't that big of a deal. Like, it wasn't. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? People did it. They went trick or treating or whatever. But it's a little different when you live in like a neighborhood that has a lot of buildings. You know what I mean? You can't really do it the same. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to different houses, and so people were kind of limited. They might just go trick or treating in the building or something like that. What you got out? Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Right, and that's a good point. We're gonna see that actually. That point is gonna come up later in the class as well. It's more commercialized now, right? But when I was coming up, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It was a thing, but it wasn't. It didn't compare to Thanksgiving. It didn't compare to Christmas. Like nobody treated it like now. I live in a house with a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, these oppressors on my block, and it's like they got more decorations for this Halloween than they do for other stuff. Like I'm like I've never seen, like they got Halloween lights now. Halloween blow up this. The fool across the street got like a dragon and like a big ghost, and they like moving around. I'm like, good night. Like it was not like this. Times have changed, but no sweat. We're gonna jump into these scriptures, jump into this history, and prove once and for all that Halloween has nothing to do with Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. And now, when you celebrate it, you are not just having fun. It's not just for the kids. No, you are celebrating and worshiping other gods, and you're teaching your children to do so. You understand? So, brother, if you can, Baba Kushah, get me Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. We're going to start there before we jump into the article. You know what I mean? We're going to start there before we get into this article. Why? Because we need to understand that, because somebody will say, oh, well, we just having fun. Man, I didn't even know all that stuff, man. I ain't even got nothing to do with none of that. Meanwhile, that's not what the Bible says. You know what I mean? Just because you don't know about something don't mean that you're not participating in something. You know what I mean? Just because guess what? You can't use that with the police. You know what I'm saying? You try that one with I didn't know. Like I remember one time Richard Pryor said something like that. Like they came after him because he didn't pay his taxes. And he's like, my bad, Your Honor, I forgot. and the judge was like, yo, you remember next time, nigga? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just use, well, I ain't know. No. If you are performing certain tasks, you got to know the origins of these things. That's why in the ISUPK and the Commander General, Your Honor, we take the most meticulous small things very seriously. You know what I'm saying? Even certain phrases. I saw a brother post the other day, like, certain phrases just are not UPK. So you got to watch yourself and watch the way you speak, because you don't want to be associated. The Bible says what? It says refrain from even the appearance of evil. You don't want it to even look like you're doing what you're not supposed to be doing, okay? So now, brother, if you can, Baba, shall I read that scripture?
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Do it.
Learn not the way of the heathen. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
The Bible says, learn not the way of the heathen. Why is that important? Because you grew up, you know what I mean, your whole life, and you were born and you went through life, and you thought that, the water, brother, the water. And you thought that certain things were just par for the course. I know I did. I know most of us did. Unless someone taught you from an early age, when you grow up, you just see. You can't remember the first time you seen it, but at a certain point, you saw Christmas lights. At a certain point, you saw a Christmas tree. At a certain point, you knew that there was a day where everybody gets together and eats this big meal, and it was called Thanksgiving. You know, at a certain point, you knew there was a day that everybody dressed up and went out and knocked on people's doors and got candy. It just, the culture was just there, right? Which is why it's so hard for some of us to break out of these things, because it's second nature to us. Like Christianity, you tell somebody who's been a Christian their whole life that, you know what I'm saying, that Christ is a black man, and you'll almost see their heart jump straight up out of their chest. Like, what? You try to tell them, like, no, you got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Wait a minute. What the hell are you talking about? Law, statutes, the law is done away with. That is like second nature to them. And then you say, well, where does it say that? And they're like, well, let me get back to you on that, because they don't know. All they know is that somebody told them that. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. Khan. So the brother said, question about Thursday in my school, we're having various Halloween activities. Khan. Well, if your school's having various Halloween activities, you don't have to participate in those whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? You just go to school and do the classwork, and just that's that. You know what I mean? As far as school activities where they try to make you participate in some wicked activities, you don't have to do. You don't got to dress up. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to play none of those games. You just say I don't participate in this, and you go on about your day. But you're Salaki, you know, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk to your pops about that. You know what I mean? He could definitely, he'll definitely tell you exactly the way to go about that. You know what I mean? But more than likely, there's not any activity that you will be forced to do. They can't do that. You know what I'm saying? You just go to school and that's that. You go to class, mind your business, go home. You be like, it never happened. You know what I'm saying? Just like in here. You know what I'm saying? All my brothers in this school, you know what I'm saying? This day is gonna come and go like nothing. The only thing that we're gonna do on that day is maybe tell other people how wicked and disgusting it is. But we're not gonna participate in it. We're not gonna you know, gonna involve ourselves in it at all. You know what I'm saying? And the way we dress, they call us Power Rangers anyway. Somebody might see me on that day and be, oh, this guy's dressed up. Then I'm gonna have to correct him. Like, no, brother, this is actually, you know what I'm saying, my culture. This is how my ancestors dress. This is not a costume. I'll be wearing the same thing when I go to class the next day. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. But go ahead and read that from the top one more time, brother.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen, man. Don't, and that doesn't mean that you can't. I mean, we all live in this society. When it says learn not the way of the heathen, it's going to explain it further. It's talking specifically, can you receive the candy is garbage? You understand? It's garbage. You cannot take any of the candy. It's the same reason why we would like say like the candy is not unlawful, right? But if you're taking the candy, then you are participating in the holiday. The same reason why turkey is not unlawful. Who doesn't like turkey? I know down south, man. I came down south and went to that fair. I came to Raleigh and went to the fair for the first time in my life. That was a 2015, something like that, when I first left New York. And I saw I'll never forget, I saw like a child with like a big turkey leg. And I'm like, good night. It's not Tawab. And that is Thanksgiving Day. On that day, turkey is disgusting to me. You understand? It might as well be a piece of pork, a piece of ham, a pork chop. On that day, I'm not eating that garbage. You understand? Why? Because, like we were saying before, I'm refraining from the appearance of evil. I don't even want it to look like I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? This brother, Salaka, sir, this brother said turkey nasty. Hey, no sweat on one. I mean, to each their own. I'm not the biggest fan of turkey myself. Like, I'm not gonna be eating it on like a regular day. You know what I'm saying? Like every day, I ain't having it. You understand? You know what I mean? So that's what it's saying when it says learn not the way of the heathen. Don't learn their customs. Don't go after their belief systems. Christianity is not your culture. Buddhism is not your culture. You understand? Islam is not your culture. What you got out? Right. Right. Most time, get that brother a hand. Get that brother a hand. Why? Why am I saying that? Because the brother just brought out something that's gonna just is so crucial to understanding this class and understanding the Bible in general. Almost every story in the Bible, going all the way back to Adam and Eve, is about a people who continually rejected their father to go follow after the shiny, wonderful customs of another nation. That's what we keep doing. Like the brother said, we can't keep doing it. That's what we've been doing. Why? Because it's shiny. I remember being a kid and them Christmas lights would just be, I would, you know what I'm saying? And especially if you see some of the crazy things they do, man. They have all kinds of wonderful, big circuses and big lights all over the place. And you go to Rockefeller Center in New York, and the tree is like 80 feet tall, and you're just a little kid just mesmerized. And that's how we are. We mesmerize by the customs of these other nations. They're so attractive to us. We want to be involved in them so bad. You know what I'm saying? So bad that we'll reject our Father, that we'll reject our rightful place as God's chosen people, man. Ooh, we. Good night. How much more? How silly can you be? That's what the scriptures say, right, brother? How long will you simple ones love what? Love simplicity. How long you gonna love it? Like, yeah, that seems nice, but that's a child. What did Paul say? I think it was Paul. When I was a child, I spake as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Like, you have to eventually change your mind. You have to recondition your mind to be an adult, to think like a grown-up. That's a child's way of thinking. Oh, the tree is shiny. I want to follow after it. Oh, that looks so awesome. Can I be a part of it? The candy tastes so sweet. I want some of the candy. Notice all these holidays somehow have children involved. We'll get to that too. Finish the scripture, brother.
And be not dismayed at the
That's actually important because as we read this history, we'll see that these holidays, Halloween actually stems from almost a conglomerate of holidays. These holidays often had something to do with the summer solstice or the winter solstice, or what I'm saying, something that they would see in the heavens to tell them that this season is coming, or this thing is like that. It's all just wicked witchcraft nonsense. Finish it out, brother. Uh-huh. Right. At the end of that, okay, now I want you to jump to, let me see which auto, jump to the history.com one. We're going to jump to this one to get the overview. So right now we're going to read about the actual history of Halloween. Again, many of my brothers in the UPK going over it. We're going to do our part here in Durham, North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Con. That's the one I want. You got it, bro. Take your time. But yeah, so this holiday, man, and what's really vicious about it is how our people are so oblivious to it and how it's permeating everything we do. It's permeating everything we do because now it's not just a holiday for children. It's not just a holiday for children. It's a holiday that you participate in yourself as a grown person. You see a grown man, dressed up like a damn ballerina or something. You know what I'm saying? You'll see all kinds of wickedness on this day. Good, how about you got?
Every time I hear it, it goes to the History Channel.
History Channel?
Yeah, it goes to.
It's supposed to go to the history.com, but it's not supposed to go to the History Channel.
Yeah.
If you can't, see if you can get the other one. If you can't get that one first, and I might just have to read that one. That's no problem. This joint right here. You gotta have it nice and loud. Let me know when you get it, brother. No, while you waiting for that, man, I'm gonna get another scripture. I'm gonna go ahead and read another one. I'm gonna go ahead and get another scripture. It goes right along. Good precept. They go hand in hand, man. This is how you win, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Black woman, Hispanic woman, Native Indian woman. This is how you win. I see on Facebook all day people arguing, all these fake Israelite groups and all, you know what I'm saying, all these people in these different, man-made religions and all this garbage, arguing about what we got to do, man. What's he got? What? Yeah, okay, so yeah, he can go ahead and read it from here. Yeah, that's the wild. This the whole thing right here, brother. Yeah. Yeah, the top one. Still gonna get this scripture real fast. Come. I'm gonna read this scripture real fast. Bear with me. Oh, Salaki. I'm gonna read the scripture real fast. No, I forgot about the Bible right here. I'm tripping. No sweat. The book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 31. Salakia. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. That's what we just read before, but that's so important, man. It's so important to understand that and this is not, again, this is not some far removed concept. This is literally what you do every day, black man, black woman. This scripture is telling you, it's not telling you not to do something that you're already not doing. No, it's telling you to stop doing something that you've been doing. You understand? You've been envying your oppressor. You know what I mean? You've been following after his ways. And it's not just the holidays. You follow after his ways when you gun down another black man. You follow after his ways when you go out and, you know what I'm saying, and disrespect, you know what I'm saying, and mistreat a black woman. You following after his ways when you go and you know what I'm saying, when you don't raise your kids properly. You following after him when you believe that you African. You following after his ways. Why? Because he told you all of that. He's the thing that you aspire to be so much. You want to be like him so much that you love what he loves and you hate what he hates. And he hates what? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So you hate blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Don't get it twisted. White supremacy, white supremacy is an ideology that can be adopted by anybody. You don't have to be white to be a white supremacist. You don't. I'd go as far as to say most blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are white supremacists. Matter of fact, I'll go as far as to say that if you're not in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, you are a white supremacist. Why do I say that? Because you're a Christian. And if you're a Christian, then you're a white supremacist. We're not going to get too deep on that point, but that is an actual fact. So the scripture says, Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 31, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Now, brother, go ahead and start reading that article if you can, Baba Kusha. This is the history of Halloween right here. It's not all fun and games. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. That's coming right up. So this article is brand new. This is a recent article, or they updated. I think it's an older article that they updated, right? So they're talking about the fact that Halloween is a thing they're going to celebrate this coming Thursday. You already know because you already got your costume picked out. Go ahead. Now the actual pronunciation is Celtic, Utawab, and you're going to see that the actual pronunciation of that word, that Samhain, the actual pronunciation is Samhain. Samhain, right? You Samhain. You'll see, right? They're gonna explain it. Keep going. For now, you Tawab. Keep going. They would wear what? To ward off ghosts. Okay, that sounds familiar. Keep going, brother. Mm-hmm. So wait, hold on, wait. Salakia, brother. So it says, so we just read the ancient Celtics, right? That's where it started from. And then it says in the 8th century. So the 8th century, now we talking in the 700s, right? Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor all saints. So now this is a Christian. This is a Christian pope. Do not get it twisted, Salakia. I know I keep saying it, but don't get it twisted. Black people swear that their Christianity is like some kind of separate thing, which in a way it is, but it really isn't. You know what I'm saying? Christianity is Christianity. Your Christian church is just, it's like the fake Israelite group of Christianity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good. What you got? Right. You know what I'm saying? Rip off, you know what I'm saying? Great value version. You know what I'm saying? The off brand version. You know what I mean? Instead of getting the Fruit Loops, it's like, you know what I'm saying? The colorful circles or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like some garbage that you buy in the grocery store that ain't the real thing. You know what I mean? But yes, your Christianity has just splintered off from the Roman Catholic Church. All Christianity splintered off from the Roman Catholic Church. Let's get that straight. Every single person who calls themselves a Christian is part of an organization or part of a church that splintered off, or they're part of what you might call a sect that splintered off from the Roman Catholic Church. There's three main ones. There's obviously the Roman Catholic Church. Then you have the Eastern Orthodoxy, or the Greek Orthodoxy is called. And then, of course, you have the Protestant Reformation due to Martin Luther. And then all your Baptists and your Pentecostals and your, give me some more. AME, Methodist, Kojic, Apostolic. all of that stuff. What you got, sis? Jehovah's Witness, Most High in Christ, all of that splintered off from Martin Luther. It's all Christian, it's all pagan, it's all disgusting, and all of them, and this is the reason why all of them celebrate Halloween. All right. Now, so go ahead and keep reading where you at, brother. Read from Soon All Saints Day. Right. So what happened was, even though this was originally not had nothing to do with Christians, had nothing to do with them. It was a Celtic holiday. But as with all the other holidays, as with Christmas and Thanksgiving and things like that, the Roman Catholic Church was constantly, which was a conglomerate of different people, different nations in the area, and they were trying to appease people. They were trying to appease people by basically they would take their Christianity and say, well, let's mix a little bit of this in there so we can, you know what I'm saying, cater to these people. Let's mix a little bit of this in there so we can, because the Romans, you know, like Christmas was like something that they did before they became Christian. So they said, well, in order to get people to adopt our religion more, let's take some of the stuff we used to do and throw it in there like, oh, well, this is one of our holidays. This is some Christian stuff. And this is the same thing. So it became incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain, right? Keep going. It was known as what? Uh-huh, go ahead. And later Halloween, go ahead. And they use the word evolve, but we'll learn that all of these, it didn't evolve into this. Those were the things that, those traditions that came from before. They were doing this before. Now, before we jump to that, brother, so again, if you can, go to the article. It's there's an etymology. Once it says etym online, ETYM online, just so we can look up the definition of that word, so you can see where that origin comes from. Yeah, man, this is important, man. Little black kids in the ghettos, man. No. That's on your phone. Yeah, Salakia. Yeah, that's on your phone. It's just a ETYM online, Edom online. Little black kids in the ghettos, man. Little Hispanic kids in the in the barrios and things like that, celebrating these holidays, and you know, it's like a delusion, man. A straight delusion over their eyes, man. They get excited about these things, not knowing Most High in Christ, not knowing it has nothing to do with their nationality, has nothing to do with their culture, nothing to do with their history. And these kids growing up in these conditions, they're always looking for hope. And isn't that the worst thing you can do? Isn't that the worst thing you can do, to prey on somebody's desire for something better, to prey on somebody's desire to be better, to live better? You know what I'm saying? A little kid in the ghetto, a piece of candy, good night. I cannot wait for Halloween. I don't care about no ghouls. I don't care about no ghosts. I don't care about none of that. I'm about to get some candy because any other time I can't get it. But this is the only time of the year that I have an excuse to go knock on somebody's door and say, please give me some treats, and not feel ashamed about it. Any other time I got to go knock on somebody's door and ask them for something real, like some bread or some milk, because we ain't got none. I feel ashamed. When I got to go spend those food stamps in the store, I feel ashamed. But on this night, no, I'm going to get some sweet treats and I'm going to feel wonderful about it. You know what I'm saying? This is the things that our little kids are going through. Same thing with Christmas, same thing with Thanksgiving. It's all just a facade, but nobody's telling them. We're not telling them because unfortunately, a lot of us, we just didn't know better. You know what I mean? It's just straight up wickedness, man. It's ridiculous. So read that etymology one. Let me get to it real fast too, brother. So this is going to be the etymology of the word, or the origin of the word Halloween, so we can see how we're not telling fibs here. This is the facts. You can look this up. This is how it goes. This is why you celebrate Halloween. It's not a national holiday. No, it is a national holiday. Is it? Is it a national holiday? Okay, yeah, it's not a national holiday because everybody goes to school, but it's damn sure on your calendar. But go ahead and read that out. Mm-hmm. Right. Hallow what? Say it like that last one. Halloween. And there's an apostrophe between the two E's, correct? Why is that? Right. Because it's Hallows Eve. Hallows Eve is short for Hallows Evening. What does the Bible say? It says, let's give an example. A man sleeps with his rib. You know what I'm saying? He's unclean, right? Until when? But the Bible doesn't say evening. Until the even. So what they did was basically eliminate the V. So it's basically saying Hallows Even, which is short for evening, right? So that's the etymology of the word. Keep going. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it probably dates to the 17th century
Right.
in Scotland and is attested as the name of a tune in 1724.
Right. A song. Oh, one of them old Scottish songs, man. Go ahead.
The tune is mentioned again in an English Scots songbook,
Mm-hmm.
The Cheerful Companion, in 1783, and Burns was not the first to describe the customs in print.
Mm-hmm. Read that little part.
Halloween
Mm-hmm.
or Holy Eve
Halloween. Halloween or Hallow Even. Hallow's evening, the evening before. Go ahead.
is the evening previous to
Oh,
midnight.
wait. No. Don't skip that part because that's important. Read that part from the top again. Halloween. Go
Halloween
ahead.
or Holy Eve.
Or what?
Holy Eve.
Wait a minute. I thought they weren't celebrating other gods. I thought it was just fun for the kids. I thought it had nothing to do with with paganism. I thought it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't know nothing about none of that. Salakia, if you can, brother, get me 1 second. Give me Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. Hold what you got on your phone. Put your phone down. And just hold what you get. Just hold what you got there. And give me Exodus chapter 20 and verse 3. You want to know why every Halloween black people getting shot up in Chicago, like just getting murdered by the hundreds? You want to know why all the July 4th, black people can't wait for July 4th. I don't know why. Go ahead. Yeah, all it is going to be a shootout. You're going to get is a bunch of young black Hispanics, Native Indians are going to get killed every July 4th. It's going to happen. Every Halloween, murder rates are going to go up. Every holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, they're going to go out there and more blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians will be murdered. You understand? Now, go ahead and read that, brother. And this is why. Because you can't, these aren't your customs. I mean, when I hear somebody try to say or try to front like blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians aren't the true Jews, brother. I mean, I don't give a damn because they fake Israelites anyway, or they Christians. I don't care. But it's like this Bible is so thorough in proving who the true Jews are. Who else is going through this, man? Who else is going through this? Who else is getting killed at astronomical rates on their holiday? You know what I'm saying? Who else is is at the bottom, but they're still celebrating somebody else's independence? I don't know who it is. You know what I mean? Go ahead and read that, brother.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt do what?
Have no other gods before me.
No, you can celebrate the holidays of other nations.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or likeness or any likeness, Salakia, of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
Right. That's talking about because why is they saying that? Because the other nations love to worship what? Fish. They love to worship fish and cats and dogs and birds. That's why when you go, if you look at Egypt and you look at they old them tombs and all of that garbage over there, you'll see a man standing strong with a head of a goddamn falcon. You know what I mean? You'll see a bird head, is Birdman up there. You know what I mean? What you got out? Yeah, you got the dog head, you got the cats. Yeah, that,
all of the gods of Egypt had a representation in King Tut's tomb when they opened the tomb. They had, like you said, they had a bird, the dog, they had a cat, an alligator. It was like about eight of them. And this is what they buried, like with mad gold. They buried him with these gods in this tomb.
that's why it's saying, read from the top.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
It's saying that for the same reason why I said later on that they worship the creation more than the creator. Because these other nations would take, some kind of animal, a bird, they take cow, cat, anything, and they would worship that. Over there, out here, I think in India, they worship cows. Um, all kinds of different animals and things they worship. They worship the sky, worship the sun. I mean, we know that they do that, right? They worship these things and they make these graven images as representations of their gods, which they worship. So that's why it's telling us, no, you don't do that. Why? Because when we got out of Egypt, what's the first thing we wanted to do? Make a golden calf. Salakia. Don't do that. Like, don't do that. Don't make a goddamn baby cow and say this is God. That's literally what we did when we got out of Egypt. We made a baby cow and said, this is who got us out of Egypt. Yeah, sis. Good night. You got up. Mhm. Right, right. Wicked as hell. Just disgusting. Just disgusting. Melted all our glorious jewelry. We just got out of Egypt, and we're gonna turn it into a. And most, and you can see why the Most High God is like, I can't believe these niggas. I can't believe this. Like, like for real. Like after what I just did, I just literally took the sea. Like, have you like, I want you, Salakia, imagine for a second you running away from these. This, I mean, this is America, right? This is the America of that time, Egypt. You from these niggas, and you get to this ocean, and you're like, Moses, what a nigga? What now? Like, you brought us out here. He said, "Where the boats? Good night. Where the boats?" And this thing said, "Yo, hold up." He stand out on something, take the staff, put it in the water, and the water just goes up, and you got two big walls of water. So that means, like the movie showed, they're walking through the water, and like sharks and shit are like swimming past them and it is looking like, yo, this is the craziest thing I ever seen. And after he did that, and he did that after the plagues. After, so okay, what you got? Don't forget the pillar of fire that they followed, right? Because it right, and they followed it, right? And this is after, right? They had all them plagues going to Egypt, man. All kinds of locusts and flies and boils, and they was real messed up. Them Egyptians, man. It was like imagine you walking outside your door and you just see, you know what I'm saying, these oppressors just falling out in Starbucks. They just in Starbucks just looking, just got boils and looking sad. Imagine you just find you just walk like good night, like I'll have a grande latte, like you know what I mean. But they're looking all messed up, and we watched the Most High do that, and we said that it was a calf. A calf was responsible for getting us out of Egypt. Good night. This is what you do when you goddamn celebrate Halloween. This is what you do when you celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving. You take all the glorious things that the Most High has bestowed upon his people and you, Salakia, for lack of a better word, you piss on it. You piss on it. Because These things have nothing to do with you. All they do is bring you death. All they do is bring you fear. You know what I'm saying? All they do is remind you, like Father's Day, all it does is remind you about how much your children hate you because your baby mother told them this and that about you. These days just remind you about how messed up your life was, how you living in the ghetto. Whenever Christmas comes around, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's many of us who their Christmases were not like other people's Christmases. You understand? Their Thanksgivings was not like other people's Thanksgivings. And even the ones who have a good Thanksgiving, what's gonna happen at Thanksgiving? You're gonna get around the table, somebody's cousin is gonna start talking about somebody's brother, who's gonna be talking about somebody's sister, and it's gonna be a big family argument. Everything's gonna go out on the table and it's gonna end up in a fight, and your cousin is fighting your uncle, and that's just what it is. It's not, this is not your rest, and these are not your traditions. They have nothing to do with you. So there's no reason why you should be wondering why, when you celebrate these things, you get the short end of the stick. You understand? Where's you at, brother? Keep going. Keep going.
Verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath,
Mm-hmm.
or that is in the water under the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them,
Right.
nor serve them.
Mm-hmm.
For I, the Lord thy power, am a jealous power,
Right.
visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Right. That's what he does. And he does it every single year. He visits the iniquities of our fathers because we want to celebrate, we want to worship other gods. So guess what? We're gonna get punished for it. We're gonna be charged for the crimes we commit. So drop that, and also drop the etymology. Go back to the article, the main article. Yeah, the papers you got. Go back to that.
Ancient origins of Halloween. Halloween origins date back to the ancient Celtics festival of Samhain, pronounced Samhain.
Mm-hmm.
Samhain. The Celts, who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated their new year on November 1st.
November 1st, which is the day after what? October 31st. Go ahead.
The day marked the end of the summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death. Celts believed that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. On the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, when it was believed that the ghost of the dead returned to the earth.
So that's where that theme comes from. So that's why Halloween is all about ghosts and ghouls and goblins. When I was a kid, we used to watch a show. What was it called? Goosebumps. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shows like that, books like that. It was all about, you know what I mean, this kind of spooky afterworld, afterlife, you know what I'm saying, scary horror stuff, right? Well, that's where it comes from. It comes from the ancient Celts. Keep going, brother.
In addition to causing trouble and damaging crops, Celts thought that the presence of the otherworldly spirits made it easier for the Druids,
Mm-hmm.
or Celtic priests, to
Mm-hmm.
make the predictions about the future.
Mm-hmm.
For a people entirely dependent on the volatile nature, the volatile natural world, these prophecies were an important source of comfort during the long, dark winter.
Mm-hmm.
To commemorate the event, Druids built huge sacred bonfires where the people gathered to burn crops and animals as sacrifice to the Celtic deity.
Okay, so they did what?
Burn crops and animals as sacrifice to the Celtic deity.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
During the celebration, the Celts wore costumes,
Mm-hmm.
typically consisting
Okay. No, you too up. So we just read, that it was they believed that on that day the lines between their world and like the underworld was blurred, so that ghosts and ghouls can get through. And they did this by celebrating. They celebrated by wearing costumes and bonfires and things like that. They wore animal heads and skins, telling fortunes. That sounds real nice, don't it? Salakia, if I may, brother, I sent you another article. Try it out on your phone. It's the one that says it's like dinternal.com. DINTER. Right. Now, let me see where I want you to start from. It talks about how there were four major holidays celebrated by the Druids, yada yada yada. Skip that. Skip down to where it says where it first says Sam Hain or Samween or Soween.
Samhain or Samhain is pronounced sow, as in female pig,
Mm-hmm.
ween,
Right.
the neutral vowel sound,
Mm-hmm.
not Samhain,
Mm-hmm.
because MH in the middle of an Irish word is what?
Right. It's a W sound. Right. So you can't get it twisted. You can't like associate it. There's just symbols, and in different languages, those symbols represent different sounds. You know what I mean? It's arbitrary. So in that word in their language, the MH doesn't make what we consider to be MH sound, it makes a W sound. So it's Sawin. Go ahead.
Don't ask me why. It's just Irish.
Skip down to where um it says Sam Ween is often said to have been the most important.
Okay, Samhain or Sorny, Samhain is often said to have been the most important of the fire festivals because, according to most Celtic scholars, it may have marked the Celtic New Year at the least.
Which we just read, right? We just read that in the other article that November it marked the eve or the beginning of the new year, right? Because November 1st was like they associated with this. This is the day when all the dead come back, right? And then the next day, all of it gets renewed and changes. This is the end of summer. Go ahead.
At least Samhain was equal according to Beltane and shared many symbolic characteristics. Samhain was the original festival that the Western Christian calendar moved its All Saints Day to. Eastern Christians continue to celebrate All Saints Day in the spring as Roman Christians had originally. Since the Celts, like many cultures, started every day at sunset of the night before Samhain became the evening of Al Hallow.
Of all hallows, go ahead.
Hallow equal holy, equal saint, which was eventually contracted into Halloween or the modern Halloween.
So that's how that connection was made between those words, right? So they had the All Saints Day, but they took it from the Celts, right? That Hallows, and it became the Hallows Evening or Halloween before All Saints Day. Now keep going. Let's find out. I want to get to these rituals, man. That's what I want to get to. Keep going, brother.
Whether it was the Celtic New Year or not, Samhain was the beginning of the winter of or dark half of the year.
Drop down to where it says, drop down under that little picture. It says Sam Wing from 31st October. That's what I really want.
Samhain
Now we're gonna read about some of these traditions that was going on this time. Go ahead.
from 31st October to the 2nd of November was a time of no time.
It says it was a time of no time. What does that mean? The reason why it says it was a time of no time is essentially like a free for all. They use these couple of days to completely eradicate their laws, to completely, throw it out the window and say, listen, all right, for these 3 days, do whatever you want to do. That's why I said earlier, it was just like the purge. Go ahead, yeah, it was just like the purge. Like for these 3 days, go ahead. You good. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever you want to do. And let's see what they were doing with their free time. Go ahead.
Like all early society, Celtic society, like all early society, was highly structured and organized. Everyone knew their place, but to allow that order to be psychologically comfortable, the Celts knew that there had to be a time when order and structure were abolished, when chaos could reign, and Samhain was such a time. Right. Yeah. Time was abolished for 3 days of this festival, for the 3 days of this festival, and people did crazy things. Men dressed as women.
Men did what?
Dressed as women.
Men dressed as women. I mean, I suggest that y'all just pay attention to your social media feeds, and when you go out on Thursday for you go get your groceries or whatever, just go. You'll see it. I mean, am I telling lies here? Am I saying something that's not true? It's brothers, and it's gonna be, man. It's gonna be. I mean, it's not like brothers don't dress like women every day anyway. I mean, you got Cam Newton. This dude is like 6'6". You know what I'm saying? 240 pounds of muscle, and he dresses like a straight woman. You know what I mean? But you're gonna see brothers, man. You're gonna see brothers on Halloween just like women because they think it's funny. Go ahead.
And women as men.
Right. Now, what does the Bible say about men dressing as women and women dressing as men? Does the Bible say that's what?
Thou shalt not, a woman shall not wear the garment of a man, and men shall not wear the garment of a woman.
The Bible says that a man shall not wear that which pertaineth to a woman, and a woman shall not wear that which pertaineth to a man. But again, when you're dealing with pagan customs, when you're dealing with other nations' beliefs and stuff, you're not gonna. It's like my brother always brings out. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, you know what I'm saying, is of light. You can't be in the darkness and deal and be of the Most High at the same time. You can't do both because one is going to require you to do something that the other one is going to tell you not to do. Which is why the Bible says what? You can't serve two masters. You cannot believe, oh, I'm gonna go celebrate Halloween. I'm gonna go do this, and then you know what I'm saying. But I love the Lord. What? Keep going, brother.
Farmers' gates were unhinged and left in ditches. People's horses were moved to different fields, and children would knock on neighbors' door for food and treat in a way that would still
And children would do what?
knock on neighbors' doors,
Would do what?
knock on neighbors' doors for food and treat in a way that we still find today. In a watered down way, in the custom of trick or treating on Halloween.
Go back to, let me see something real fast. Salakia. I want you to go back to the other article, the history.com, the one you got on the paper. And there's a sentence that begins, did you know? Could you read that, please?
Did you know 1/4 of all candy sold annually in the U.S. is purchased for Halloween?
Good night, brother. Read that again, please.
Did you know 1/4 of all the candy sold annually in the U.S. is purchased for Halloween?
1/4, 25% of all the candy that is purchased in the U.S. is purchased. How many days are in a year? 365. One day is what percentage of 365? Which is what? In percentage terms, what would that be? It's like, no, it's less than 1%. It's like 0.0. Yeah, right. And yet 25% of all the candy that is purchased in the United States is purchased for that one day. The oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, and I am not going to argue about that. That's just the way that is. So guess what? So that means that all of these people out here, these people believe that America considers itself a Christian nation. They're Christians. These are the people who believe in the Bible, right? These are the same people who tell you that, you know, the New Testament is done away with, and you Israelites and you guys are doing this and that's like you. Oh, you know, you guys gotta, you're taking that out of context. It's out of context. These are the same people who do that. Well, guess what? The same people who do that. Read that again, brother.
Did you know 1/4 of all the candy sold annually in the U.S. is purchased for Halloween?
Mm-hmm. Good night. They celebrate Halloween heavily in America. I want a scripture, man. Give me Amos chapter 5, verse 21. Give me that. That is insane. 1/4 for one day? That's crazy. So, I guess that's where the money's at. Yeah. No, Proverbs 21.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I hate, I despise your feast days.
The Most High said he what?
I hate,
No, he loves it.
I hate,
He doesn't mind if you do it.
I hate,
It's all good.
I despise,
Uh-huh.
I hate,
Mm-hmm.
I despise
Right.
feast days.
The Most High says he despises your feast days, man. So when you go out and you put that disgusting costume on your children, man, and let them participate, this kids getting snatched up left and right, and you gonna let your kids go trick-or-treating? Please. So when you put that disgusting costume on your kids and you send them out in the world where anything can happen to them, so they can go beg somebody for some candy that's gonna rot their teeth out their mouth and give them all kind of diabetes, which you know black people have more than anybody else. When you do that, the Most High said what? Read it from the top.
I hate,
He said he hates it. The Most High hates it. He hates Halloween. You understand? He hates Halloween. He hates Christmas. He hates Thanksgiving. He hates Mother's Day. He hates Father's Day. He hates Valentine's Day. He hates all of it, right? But right now we're talking about Halloween, man. And the Most High said he despises your feast days. Go ahead.
and I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
He ain't gonna smell them bonbons, man. He ain't gonna smell them. Give me some more. Them airheads. He ain't gonna smell them. What's the little ones? Salakia. What's the little? He ain't. Oh, that he damn sure ain't gonna smell them candy corns. Good night. What's the little ones? I feel like this. I don't even know what the name of this company is. Nah, it's like a bunch of little. They almost look like little. They almost look like little pills, but they sweet. And it comes like a little. It's like a little thin wrapper.
Parade in the cellophane.
Yeah. It's like a bunch of little these like pill-looking joints. It's like 12 of them wrapped in a little plastic wrap, and they're all colorful, right? Whatever the hell that is, he ain't gonna smell it. All right. He ain't want to deal with none of that garbage, man. The Most High is not. He hates. He despises your feast days. Why? Because it's not his feast days. Notice he said he hates. He despises your feast days because his feast days are what? The Passover. You know what I'm saying? The Feast of Unleavened Bread. You know what I mean? David told me it isn't a feast day, but nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? Memorial blowing of the trumpets. You know what I mean? The Feast of Tabernacles. Those are his feast. Oh, feast Hanukkah, the water, brother. Hanukkah coming up. You know what I'm saying? A glorious feast that celebrates what? It doesn't celebrate loving and joining with other nations. It celebrates us fighting and destroying other nations and putting our and getting in our proper place as God's chosen people. That's what we celebrate. Just like the Passover celebrates the death of them stinking Africans, man. That's what that celebrates. Y'all love these other nations so much. These other nations are so smart. They so smart because they know if they market it to you, they can just make money off you. It's like it's the simplest thing to do. Like just give them something shiny to play with. You know what I'm saying? And they'll come a running. and we'll make money and we'll be good guys, sis. Give them a day off. You know what I mean? Give them a day off, and they'll be rejuvenated. They'll come back to work every day. Like, man, my July 4th was great. Now I'm about to just work, 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 work. You know what I'm saying? Like, good night. Like, I mean, Salakia. I mean, you can. We all slaves. We all in captivity, but do you have to be a happy slave at the same time? Like, you know what I mean? They just give you these things to coddle you. They give you these things to make you feel good in the moment and make you forget about the fact that your people are being murdered every day. The fact that your people are being locked in cages, getting torn apart from their families. You know what I'm saying? You'll forget about it. Why? Because you can't wait to go to that costume party. You know what I'm saying? You think about it right now, like, oh, so no, I think I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna be Prince or Michael Jackson. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe, maybe I'll be Michael Jackson and I'll let my girl, you know what I'm saying, she'll be Janet or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll do something like that. It'll be too wild. While you doing that, you completely forgot that the sister of Tatiana got murdered in her own home 2 weeks ago. You'll completely forget about Botham John Salakia. You'll completely forget about the fact that they're murdering us in our. It used to be in the streets. When we saw Mike Brown lying dead in the streets for hours, we were outraged. Now we're getting killed in our homes. Like, that sister was shot through the window of her own. Like, if that does not tell you that we are living in hell, hell is not a place, man. Hell is not some fiery place. Imagine telling some little kid in the ghetto, you know what I'm saying, who his mother's on drugs, his never met his father, then been through this, been through that, you know what I'm saying, watch his friends get killed. Imagine telling some kid like that when it's all said and done, if he don't go to church, he's gonna go to some fiery place underground. Imagine. Like, nigga, what is worse than this? I'm gonna go somewhere that's worse than this. You're gonna try to put more fear in my heart so I can go to your stinking church and buy you a $1 million jet? You understand? They prey on us through these things like Halloween, man. It's not a joke. It's not funny. These things absolutely destroy black people because they were never designed for black people. Okay, brother, if you can't give me the article again, go back to right under where it says "Did you know?" where it says by 43 AD.
By 43 AD,
Mm-hmm.
the Roman Empire had conquered the majority of Celtic territory.
Salakia, the water sis, sweet tarts. That's what it is. The little joints in the wrapper, sweet tarts, the water. Most High Christ. Go ahead.
In the course of the 400 years that they ruled the Celtic land, two festivals of Roman origin were combined with the traditional Celtic celebration of Samhain.
Wait a minute. It says two what?
It says two festivals of Roman origin.
Wow. Okay. The Romans got something to do with everything. We done told you before. If you seeing some fake holiday or something like that, you better believe the Romans got a hand in it. They're in there somewhere. Keep going, brother.
Of Roman origin were combined with the traditional Celtic celebration of Samhain.
Right. And we'll get to that. Now jump back to the article on your phone again. Because now I want to get into some of these where it talks about some of the actual things that they were doing. Do I have it on here? Do I have it on my phone? Salakia. Salakia. Yeah, it's that paragraph, but I want you to start from where it says the Druids.
The Druids knew that these 3 days
So now we're jumping back to the Celts again. We kind of got out of it a little bit. We were moving towards the Romans, but we're jumping back to the Celts and the origins where it actually started. Keep going.
the Druids knew that these 3 days had a special quality about them. The veil between this world and the world of the ancestors was drawn aside on these nights.
Uh-huh.
And for those who were prepared,
Prepared, that's important. Go ahead.
journeys could be made in safety to the other side. The Druids' rites, therefore, were concerned with making contact with the spirits of the departed.
They were concerned with doing what?
Contact with the spirits of the
They were
departed.
concerned with doing what? Making what?
Contact with the spirits of the departed.
Uh-huh. Go ahead. rather than as sources of dread. You want to know why little 5-year-olds don't mind dressing up as ghosts, don't mind dressing up as witches? Yes, sis. Well, yes, we'll get to that. You're suave. You're correct. That's they associated it like, oh, this is not something to be afraid of. We need to make contact with them. Hold that. Get me, Salakia, in the Bible. Give me Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 27. Give me that first, and we're gonna get one more after that, and then we're gonna jump back to the article, man. Because as you can see, we're gonna break down the origins of this holiday are completely against the Bible, man. Down to the very detail. We haven't even gotten to the customs yet. We've only spoken about the fact that you're not supposed to celebrate other gods, and we proved that this is celebrating other gods. That's why it's called Hallows Eve. It comes from All Saints Day in the Roman traditions, and the Celtic priests or the Druids, they believed that this was the day where the dead came back. So we're dealing with other nations and their beliefs. And the Bible said what? The Bible says, learn not the way of the heathen. Go ahead and read that, brother. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That has a what? What is a familiar spirit? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean to have a familiar spirit? Go ahead, Op. I'll take it. Most High in Christ. Get that brother a hand. It's essentially someone who tries to communicate with the dead, right? It's that tarot card reading, palm reading. What's the chick name from the 90s? What's the fake Jamaican Miss Cleo? Y'all remember her? Y'all remember Miss Cleo? When she say, call me no, right? And you wanted to talk to Granny. You wanted to talk to Nana so bad that you called up Miss Cleo and she told you, Nana says it's okay, baby. She loves you so much. Don't you worry. She's in a better place. Good night. That's what it means, familiar spirits. Keep going. Or that is a what? Or that is a wizard, right? Some of y'all love Harry Potter and love that Lord of the Rings, man. I mean, you go ahead. It's a movie. It's not wrong to watch a movie. You know what I'm saying? But some of y'all want to buy the wands. You want to go. You know what I'm saying? Somebody invited me one. I know there's like a restaurant in New York, right? Where I think they have like it's like themed after it or something like that. Somebody tried to invite me. I'm like, Salakia, I can't. No, I can't do this. What you got? I think it might be. Yeah, I went there too, man. It's like having Halloween. The music was mad loud. Oh, yeah, night. Right. Wow. Yeah. You got all kinds of different, you know what I'm saying, things that represent wizards and witches. You know what I'm saying? Keep going, brother. Shall surely what? No, it's all good. This is all fun and games. In our tradition, man, if you was dealing with familiar spirits, if you was dealing with witches and goblins and ghouls and wizards, you was gonna be put to death, man. We did not play that. The Most High did not play that at all. Drop that. Get me Salaki. What's the one I want? Give me Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 31. The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 31. Regard not them that have familiar spirits. It says, regard not them that have familiar spirits. Don't go to Miss Cleo. Was it? Oh, Salaki, wait, I'm bugging. Was it old girl in the 80s and 90s doing the same thing? The singer. Wasn't Dionne Warwick? Wasn't she dealing with some? Yeah, she was on that. Right, man. That's what we just read in the article. As a matter of fact, you hold what you got, brother. I'm gonna go back to the article and read the part talking about this origin. Right? It says the Druid writes. The Druids, again, Druids were like the Celtic priests. They were the Pharisees were the religious leaders of Israel at the time during the Roman occupation. The way the Levites were the religious leaders, or what I'm saying, our connection to the Most High during the time when we had our land, right? The Druids were the Celtic priests. You know what I'm saying? They were the people who they spoke to try to get an understanding of the world and gods and who they should worship and whatever. So the Druids, rights, therefore, were concerned with making contact with the spirits of the departed, who were seen as sources of guidance and inspiration rather than as sources of dread. I'm gonna keep going. What you got, brother? The dark moon. Here we go again with the times, brother. Didn't we just now you know why the Bible's saying it? Now you know why. The Bible's not saying it for no reason. Because what was happening around Israel, around us, people were doing this. So the Most High had to say, hey, no. Don't do that. The other nations, they do that. That's why I said, matter of fact, I gotta go back to it, Salakia. I'm gonna hold that because it's so on the topic, man. I think that was Jeremiah. I got it. Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, right? And then it goes on and talks about the Christmas tree. But we're reading the same thing going on right now. The heathen were dismayed at the signs of heaven. That's why it says, the Druid rites, therefore, were concerned with making contact with the spirits of the departed, who were seen as sources of guidance and inspiration rather than as sources of dread. The dark moon, the time when no moon can be seen in the sky, was the phase of the moon which ruled this time, because it represents a time in which our mortal sight needs to be obscured in order for us to see into the other worlds. They looked at that as meaning something. An Israelite ain't supposed to do that. We see the new moon, or we just say, okay, that just represents, okay, it's a new month. You know, it's a new time cycle, but nothing else. It don't mean nothing. Some people try to say, oh, the new moon, it means, okay, so the new moon, the new is. I've seen a fake Israelite do that, right? Where they'll be like, yo, such and such day commemorates the 400th anniversary of the first slave ship that came to America. Oh, snap. It's a new moon too, right? And somebody will be like, oh, that's deep. That ain't deep, brother. It doesn't mean anything. Okay? It doesn't mean anything. All right? Don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. They see the sun and say, oh, it's so bright. It must be a God. The moon, oh, it shines at night. It must be a God. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this animal is so majestic. It must be a God. They're dismayed at what's going on up here. We just be like, damn, I hope it don't rain so I can go to camp. That's it. Nothing else. You know what I mean? Now, brother, keep reading that scripture you was reading.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 31. Regard not them that have familiar spirits.
Don't regard them to have familiar spirits. Go ahead.
Neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them.
Neither seek after wizards to be you defile yourself when you seek after wizards, man. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians defile ourselves when we dress up for Halloween because we are celebrating this. We are commemorating this. Let's get some more in the article. Now, you got the in the scripture, brother? Come on. Drop that. Go back to the article that I'm currently reading. I want you to keep reading on. It started at where it says, the dead are honored. There's a paragraph that starts, no. The one on your phone. Salakia, brother. Start the paragraph that says, the dead are honored.
The dead are honored and feasted,
Mm-hmm.
and not as the dead, but as living spirits of loved ones and of guardians who hold the root system of the tribe.
Mm-hmm.
With the coming of Christianity, this festival was turned into Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
31st October, All Hallows All Saints Day, November the 1st, and All Souls Day, November the 2nd. Here we can see most clearly the day in which Christianity built on the pagan foundation it found rooted in these idols.
Right.
Not only does the purpose of the festival match
Mm-hmm. Wow. So no, you two out. Stop right there. No, no, stop right there. Stop right there. Let me see something real fast. Salaki. Let me see something. Salakia. Nah, so I won't go there. Yeah.
You see over and over again in history the Romans playing the same game,
Mm-hmm.
same game over and over and over,
Right.
even until this day.
Right.
They put everything in three, you know, 3 days of peace, 3 days of the coast,
Right.
all this kind of
Right.
stuff,
Because that's how they think. That's their custom. You know what I'm saying? Now jump back. No, no, no. Oh, not yet. Um, 1 second. 1 second. Bear with me. Hold on. I think I got one more I gotta send you. I thought I had sent it. Oh shit. Salaki. Um, this the one. This might be the one right here. Mm-mm. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, got it. Nah, it's all good. Ah, here it is. I'm gonna send you one more, all right?
Okay.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna send this to you. Let me know when you got it, all right? While you getting that, I'm gonna read one more scripture. Not one more scripture, but another scripture.
The not so hallowed Halloween.
Yeah, that's it. But
I got it up.
oh, so you got it already?
Yeah,
All right, Most High in Christ.
except for that first one. They coming up.
Come. I want you to read from. Go to the paragraph that starts. Uh. It says communion with the dead. Start from there. That's in there. It's under where it says a brief history of Halloween.
Okay, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Communion with the dead was thought to be the work of witches and sorcery,
Mm-hmm.
although the common folk thought nothing of it,
Right.
because the rise of the church led to growing suspicion of the pagan ways of country dwellers.
Come on.
Samhain also became associated with witches,
Sounds familiar.
black cats,
Sounds familiar.
bats,
Sounds familiar. Right.
ghosts, and others.
Mm-hmm.
The stereotype of the old bag riding the broomstick is simply a caricature.
Mm-hmm.
Fairy tales have exploited this image for centuries.
Keep going.
Divination of the future was also commonly practiced at this magically potent time.
Say, read that part again. Divination what?
Divination of the future was also commonly practiced at this magically potent time.
What is divination of the future? Yes, sis. Right. Right. So now, brother, if you can, get me Deuteronomy chapter 18 and verse 10.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 10. There shall not be found among you
This is
anyone
Salakia.
naked.
Salakia. This is Deuteronomy, right? This is the law right here, right? Telling us what not to do. Read it from the top.
Verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination.
Uses divination. Making your sons and daughters to pass through the fire is sacrificing your children, which is something that was going on during that Samhain, right? That's something that they were doing. Why? We read it earlier. Why? Because the laws were eradicated for 3 days, right? And they were trying to appease these spirits that had come back, right? So they were sacrificing children. They were sacrificing animals. That's why it says the farm doors were open and things like that. Keep going. And it says divination. Read that part again.
To pass through the fire, or that uses divination.
Right.
Or an observer of the time.
Or an observer of the times. It sounds like they're describing exactly the origins of Halloween. That damn near. Good night. It's telling you exactly what you're not supposed to be doing. Keep going.
Or an enchanter, or a witch.
Or a what?
Witch.
Or a what?
Witch.
Or a witch. Yet we see, matter of fact, I got a picture right here. This is from, where's this from? It's in that article. Matter of fact, brother, yeah, show that. This is a bunch of old hags back in the day, early 20th century. It says in the early 20th century, Halloween costumes were geared towards spooky themes as opposed to current events and were mostly homemade. Here, women dressed as witches line up for a Halloween portrait circa 1910. The water, brother. But the Bible, what did the Bible just say about witches again? Read that, verse 10.
Or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch.
Keep going.
Verse 11. Or a charmer,
Mm-hmm.
or a consulter with familiar spirits.
Or a consulter with familiar spirits. The person who goes to Miss Cleo. We just read that the Celtic Druids who started this whole thing, they looked at it as an opportunity to actually get in with the spirits, man. To talk with the dead. Keep going. Like the sister brought out, a necromancer is someone who draws up the dead. They can communicate with the dead. Keep going, brother. They're what? They're, Halloween is what? Halloween is disgusting, man. The Bible told you straight up, straight to the heart, no cutting it, 100% to the gut, that all of the traditions that go along with Halloween, dressing up as ghosts and ghouls, dressing up, period. It ain't got to be just about ghosts and ghouls. It ain't got to be just about that, because we also read it said what? It said that men would dress up as what? As women, and women would dress up as men. You sitting up here dressing up as something that you're not. The origin of that really goes back to when they were trying to, you know, be incognito amongst these dead spirits, right? They believed that these dead was coming back. That's in the other one, right? In the history one, Most High in Christ. We'll get to it. Matter of fact, Finish that scripture you got, brother.
Because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee.
Mm-hmm. That's the end of 14.
That's that was in the 12.
Keep going.
Verse 13, thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy power.
That shall be perfect, man. Keep going.
Verse 14, for these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observe of time.
These nations which you will possess, they hearken unto observers of time. That's what they believe in. Go ahead. And unto diviners, people who believe in divination. They believe in talking to spirits and trying to learn the future through that. That's the people that these other nations look up to. Go ahead.
But as for thee,
As for who?
as for thee,
As for thee, as for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, go ahead.
the Lord thy power hath not suffered thee
Uh-huh.
so to do.
The Lord has not suffered thee so to do. And that's why I'm going to read an article about Chicago and all the murders that take place during Halloween. Brother, you got that? Let me know when you got it, brother. Take your time. You so wild. Come on. No, you so wild. I'm gonna read the scripture real fast, brother. If you let my heart, just let him know when you find a joint, just get that to him. Come on. I'm gonna read First Chronicles chapter 10 and verse 13. Show you how serious these disgusting traditions were, man. Okay. Most High in Christ. First Chronicles chapter 10 and verse 13. The book of First Chronicles chapter 10 and verse 13. And this is talking this is a brother, man, who had, you know what I mean, he had been righteous at one point, dealt with people who was doing the wrong thing, but then he did the wrong thing. He got, you know what I'm saying, hemmed up. And when he tried to go to the prophets and they weren't trying to deal with him, he decided that he was going to do the same thing he was mad at other people for. You understand? He was doing the same thing that they had done. This is First Chronicles chapter 10 and verse 13. So Saul died for his transgression which he committed against the Lord, even against the word of the Lord, which he kept not, and also for asking counsel of one that had a familiar spirit to inquire of it. That's how Saul got killed, man. That's how Saul died. Saul died because he was going to Miss Cleo. He said, "Oh, I'm gonna go here and get my palm read." Good night. You know what I mean, man? Sisters love that garbage for some odd reason. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my palm read. I'm like, you can't do that. No, what's the big deal? That's how they act, bro. They want to get their palm read. They want to get their tarot card reading. You know what I mean? All of that nonsense. But they don't want to just come up in the UPK under Commander General Yohana and change their life. Why? Because if you come in here, you got to change. But it's real easy to go to the tarot card reading and have somebody tell you your mama still loves you. You just wanted somebody to tell you that grandma is thinking about you. And now it's all good. You understand? You got that, brother? Go ahead and read that. Oh, not that one yet. Not we. Oh, that's the last one I want. I want the one on the paper right there. Come on. Yep.
The tradition of dressing in costumes for Halloween has both European and Celtic roots. Hundreds of years ago, winter was an uncertain and frightening time. Food supplies often ran low, and for the many people afraid of the dark, the short days of the winter was full of constant worry. On Halloween, when it was believed that ghosts came back to the earthly world, people thought that they would encounter ghosts if they left their homes. To avoid being recognized by these ghosts,
This is key right here. Ooh, we. This is, I mean, because again, because brother, you know, I know everybody. Some people would really take it so serious, man. Like you'll see the Halloween parties, man. You'll see people all over the internet. You'll see people all over the streets, man. You know what I mean? They'll have parades and stuff. You know what I mean? I done seen some. I haven't been to none, obviously, Most High in Christ. But I done seen somewhere it was just costumes, just flooding the streets in New York, just parades and just people after people after people after people just dressed up in all kinds of ridiculous stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sis. Frankly, what's that? Really? Wow. All in costume, right? All in costume. Well, let's see the origin. I was looking for it too. I had it in one of my articles, but I couldn't. I was like, "Damn, what is?" Go ahead.
To avoid being recognized by these ghosts.
To do what?
To avoid being recognized by these ghosts.
Go ahead.
People would wear masks when they left their home after dark, so that the ghosts would mistake them for fellow spirits.
Good night. So they would wear all of this. That's where you get the ghost mask from. You know what I'm saying? You get some people wearing the Scream mask, Michael Myers, and it was just anything so that they wouldn't recognize them, right? And that's the key point too. So you got a cat. You know what I'm saying? Some people dress up as all kind of stuff, but the point is like they don't want them to know that it's a regular person. You know what I'm saying? So they would dress up as looking like something what they assumed these ghosts would look like. You know what I'm saying? A ghost or a spirit or a monster or a ghoul or some evil demonic thing that they could conjure up. I'm gonna dress up as that so they won't even tell that I'm human. And now you put your child in that, in a ghost costume, in a little dragon costume, a little monster costume. You put your child in that and tell them to go knock on somebody's door and get some candy. When this whole holiday is about what? It's about everybody dressing up so they can slip through unaware, right? The tradition of the candy, that's part of we read about that tradition, right? Because during that time, there was no rules. So the kids was going, oh, give us some food, we're hungry. Yeah, it's so fun. You know what I mean? But their little costumes on so they wouldn't get hunted down by the spirits. You know what I'm saying? That's what this nonsense that you feed your children is about, man. And the Bible is against it 100%, man. Give me lean out on that on understanding. Give me that. Is that Jeremiah 17? No, that's the mind is deceitful. I want to lean out on that on understanding. I said I want to lean out on that on understanding. I got you. Okay, go ahead and read that, brother. And I'm gonna also get Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20.
Chapter 3, verse 5. Trust in the Lord.
Trust in who?
The Lord.
Who's this talking to, man? Most High in Christ. It's talking to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And it tells us to do what?
Trust in the Lord.
Trust in the Lord. Go ahead.
All thy heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding.
Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into thy own understanding. The Lord told you, don't do that. Don't dress up for Halloween. Don't take that candy. Don't try to be like your oppressor. Don't celebrate their holidays. And what do you want to do? Well, Slaki, what do we want to do? We want to lean on our own understanding. We want to do what we want to do. Where has it gotten us? How far has it gotten us? Because we know so much. Because we so damn smart. You know what I'm saying? Has it benefited us in any way in the long term? I think not. Because last time I checked, you know what I'm saying, Cornwallis Projects is still filled with niggas. You know what I'm saying? Projects and ghettos all across America, New Orleans, is still filled with black people. So doing what we want to do and thinking we so smart doesn't seem to be benefiting us too much. Let me get this one right here. Salakia. The book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. What does woe mean? Destruction, man. Destruction unto them that call evil good and good evil. What is calling evil good? What's an example of that? Give me some examples of calling evil good. Real down home, man. Something we experience all the time. Yeah, that eating, somebody telling you that eating pork is totally fine. Somebody, when you tell them I don't eat pork, and they say, "Oh, man, my rib, my rib's mother." It seemed like every time she get on the phone with her, she want to tell her about pork. Like they talk about, how women talk about, "Oh yeah, you know me, I made some food the other day, man. I made some of this. It was wild, Most High in Christ." But every time my rib mother call her, it's like, "Girl, you don't know what you missing. I made some pork chops, some smothered pork chops the other day. My rib is just like, oh, like, yeah, I don't want none of that." And she's like, "Oh, come on now, hey, they was good. You know what I mean? You don't." I'm just like, good night. That's calling evil good, right? And good evil. Because when someone tells you I don't eat that, you're like, "Oh, you crazy. What's wrong with you? Man, them pork chops is tawab, man." They won't say tawab, but they say them pork chops is good, man. That's good eating, man. You're too skinny. You need some pork chops, man. That's what they tell you. That's calling evil good and good evil. What's another one? Give me some more. That's the one I really wanted. Celebrating holidays. Like, oh, when I say, "Oh, yeah, I don't let my kids celebrate Christmas." Really? How? Oh, yeah, I tell my kids that Santa Claus doesn't exist. How could you do that to children? How could you shatter their dreams like this? Yeah, no, I don't let my kids, what I'm saying, do such and such and whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? They say, "Oh, I mean, you gotta let kids be kids. You gotta let them be kids." That's calling evil good and good evil. While you're trying to save your children, they're trying to do what? Destroy your children in the guise of being nice, within the guise of being good people. But they're trying to destroy your children. Just like all these people out here who push Halloween on black people, who push Thanksgiving, who push Christmas on black people. They don't have your interest at heart, right? Who does have your interest at heart? Who has the best interest of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians at heart? Who does? There's two ways you can answer this. I'll take both. One I want more though. Go ahead. Most High in Christ, give him a hand. You also could have said the ISUPK under command of General Yohana, because that answer would have been just as to why. Why? Because we have the Spirit of the Lord in here. That's what we have in here. We strive and we survive on that spirit. The spirit of brotherhood, man. The spirit of warfare, but not the warfare of tanks and guns, but the warfare that goes up against what? Principalities. Who else is trying to destroy Thanksgiving? Who else is trying to who before the ISUPK in 1969 was saying don't celebrate July 4th, Independence Day? It got nothing to do with you. Think about how many blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians have died on July 4th since 1969. How many blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians have died on Halloween since 1969? You understand? While we've been telling you since then, no, this is another man's custom. All it's going to do is destroy you, because every time you do what he wants you to do, you go farther away from the Most High. You understand? Get that article on Chicago real fast. We're going to close out with that one. The water, brother.
Halloween weekend marks deadliest this year with 17 dead, 41 wounded.
Ooh-wee. Go ahead.
At least 17 people, including 4 teenagers, were killed.
Including what?
4 teenagers.
Including 4 teenagers. I told you that they were sacrificing children back in them old customs. It hasn't changed. Children still getting sacrificed, except now it's our children. You understand? Getting sacrificed on these holidays, man. Go ahead.
Were killed and 41 others
The city's what?
deadliest weekend of the year.
Now this is a little bit of history. This is back in 2016, right? Now October is 2 months shy of the end of the year. And so up to that point, 2 months shy. So I mean, it's possible that another day was more deadly. It's possible, but it's not very likely. I mean, you already passed 300 days in the year, and it was the deadliest day of the year. Keep going, brother.
The weekend's latest homicide happened shortly after 4 a.m. Monday in the Inglewood neighborhood on the south side. A 28-year-old man was found with gunshot wounds to the chest and head
Right.
on the kitchen floor of a second floor apartment
Right.
in the 1100 block of West Garden.
Drop down, scroll down to the article. There's some letters in blue that says 19 shot. Scroll down. There's letters in blue, and one sentence says 19 shot. I want you to read that. And then I'm gonna get the last scripture.
Shot in the first 12 hours of Halloween weekend.
What happened?
19 shot in the first 12 hours of Halloween weekend.
The Most High told you not to involve yourself in this garbage, man. The Most High told you not to celebrate the other nations' holidays and try to not to follow after them, but you insisted. And for that, what are you getting? Are you getting? Is it a wonderful thing? Is it a beautiful thing? Is it working out well for you? No. You know what I'm saying? You getting 19 young black people shot in the first. That's in the first 12 hours. So that means like 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. 19 people had already been shot in Chicago. Keep going. Salakia. No, Salakia, no. Drop down to where it says 17. 17 fatal shootings. That's like the end of it. No, yeah, you talk. Go ahead.
17 fatal shootings make the weekend the city's deadliest of 2016. According to sometime data, over both Father's Day
Over what?
Father's Day
Uh huh.
and Labor Day weekend in Chicago this year, 13 people were wounded in shootings.
Now, again, this is after the summer. So that means more people died on Halloween than even July 4th that year in 2016. Now, 13 people had died on Labor Day, and what was the other day? Father's Day. But Halloween was a day where they went crazy. You understand? So we're gonna get one more scripture and we're gonna close out. Give me 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 15. 2 Kings chapter 17 and verse 15.
The book of the Second Kings, chapter 17, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And they rejected his statutes
Right. That's what we did. Mm-hmm.
that he made with their fathers
Right. Go ahead.
and his testimony, which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain
Mm.
and went after the heathen.
And they did what?
Went after the heathen
They went after the heathen. That's our problem. What the brother brought out earlier. It's always been our problem. Go ahead.
that were round about concerning whom the Lord had charged them that they should not do like
That they should what?
not do like
No, we should try to be like
not
them.
do like them,
No, it's okay for us to celebrate their holidays.
like them,
No, we're going to have a good outcome. It's just a barbecue. We should not do like them. Go ahead.
Verse 16. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their power and made them molten images,
Uh huh.
even 2 cows,
Uh huh.
and made a grove
Mm hmm.
and worshiped all the host of
All the host of heaven. What's that mean? Right. Most get that brother a hand. The that's that, and that's why it's so important when the Most High calls himself the Lord of hosts. What does that mean? He's saying, these other nations worship them things. I control these things. I'm the Lord of hosts. I'm the master of all this. But it says that they did what? They worship all the hosts of heaven. They worship the sun, the moon, the stars. You know what I'm saying? All of this. Keep going. Go ahead. Verse 17. They cause their what? Getting your kids dressed up for Halloween so you can go send them out to go knock on some stranger's door. Any other day you tell your kids, don't you know what I'm saying? Don't what they say? Don't talk to strangers. That's what I learned when I was a kid. Every day of the year, don't talk to strangers. But on Halloween, not only do you talk to them, you go knock on some person who you don't know's door and ask them for candy? Isn't that what most like child molesters like use to lure kids and stuff? They use things like candy and ice cream and all kind of sugary, sweet, wonderful colors and stuff. And now you're gonna send them out in the world. You're not going with them. You know what I'm saying? And even if you do, why would you want to have your child go knock on some random person's door that you don't know what this person's into? You don't know who this person is. For candy? Good night. Keep going, brother. Start from verse 17. Use what? Uh-huh. And enchantments. We read about that witchcraft, man. That's what this whole holiday is about. It's about witchcraft because them Celtics wanted the dead to come back. They wanted to communicate with them and blend in with them. Go ahead. Right. Drop that. No, you drop that right there. Salak. That's what I said we're gonna do. That was the last one. One more we done. Get me because this is just too tawab for the topic. Give me First John, the water, brother. Give me First John chapter 5, brother. Give me that one, man. Because there's a Christian right now sewing up a Halloween costume. There's a Christian right now going to Party City. You understand? They got all kind of pop-up little costume stores and all of this. You know what I mean? There's a Christian right now going to Food Line to get a bunch of candy. You know what I'm saying? They're going to Aldi, wherever y'all go to get a bunch of candy. You know what I'm saying? So they can give out to children. You know what I'm saying? So they can continue to worship Celtic, it's like Celtic deities, Roman deities. Okay, go ahead. First John chapter 5. First John 5. Yeah, First John 5. First John 1 and 5. Salakia. Maybe it is chapter 5. I'm mistaken. Salakia. First John 1 and 5.
Okay. The book of First John, chapter 1, verse 5. This then is the message which we have heard of him and declare unto you, that the Most High is light, and in him is no darkness at all.
The Most High is what?
Light. And in him is no darkness.
The Most High is light, and in him there is no darkness. There's no darkness in the Most High. That's why he said earlier, you cannot do evil and claim you're tempted of the Most High. You can't do it because the Most High cannot be tempted with evil. You know what I'm saying? You do that when that's what the Bible says, when you're drawn away of your own lust. You don't celebrate Halloween because the Most High put it in. No, you celebrate Halloween because you want to celebrate it. You know what I'm saying? You celebrate Christmas because you want to celebrate it. But the Bible just said you know what I'm saying, the Most High is light and there's no darkness in him. That means that the Most High ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn disgusting Halloween. You understand? But keep going. This is the key right here.
If we say
Salakia. Read it from the top slow. That verse. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
If we say, what does that mean? It's conditional. It's a condition. If I say if such and such and such, that means that but everything that comes after this is on a condition, right? If such and such, now go ahead, read it from the top. On the condition that we say that we have fellowship, I'm saying that we're joined together. Go ahead. So we say, so if we say that we have fellowship with him, we're down with the Most High. You understand? Salakia.
And walk in darkness. We lie.
Read Salakia. Read it from the top. One more time, brother.
If we say
If we say that we have fellowship, that we're down with the Most High, go ahead. But if we say, so under the condition that we say we have fellowship with the Most High, I love the Most High. I love God. Yes, I'm a child of God. But go ahead. If we say we have fellowship with him, start from fellowship. So we say we have fellowship with him, but we also walk in darkness. We also celebrate Halloween. We also celebrate Christmas. We celebrate other gods, other traditions of other nations. Go ahead. We do what? We lie. Any more than that? Good night. You're not in the truth, man. You're not in the truth. You don't do the truth. You're a goddamn liar. Right? Because you claim to love God and you Christian and you in the church, and that means you love God, right? Yet you gonna put on that costume and celebrate this disgusting holiday that is all about death and paganism and child murder and pedophilia and all kind of disgusting, wicked things that took place during that 3-day period. You're a goddamn liar. You understand? And with that, pass the class over to Priest Officer Mahayar.
ISUPK security announcements. We at the ISUPK start out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yahano. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, of course, is the feast of dedication. You understand what I'm saying? Hanukkah. You know what I mean? I believe that's on the 31st, if I'm not mistaken, or the 21st or the 19th. As we get close to that, you know what I'm saying? We'll keep y'all posted, man. Keep y'all tuned in. You know what I mean? Just a reminder, you know what I'm saying, the brothers and the sisters, man, just stay tuned, you know what I'm saying, on the social media, ISUPK.com, ISUPK Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTube. You understand? Support this truth, man. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, I mighty him. Wapen Yakwadam, which